travel my way. That's the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66.
Well, In Your City show has just started. It is our podcast live, of course, on location. That's how we do it. We are in your city, and that is Belleville, Illinois today. We are in your city at Grimm and Gorly and 322 or pour at 322 Coffeehouse. So actually we're inside of the coffee house. So the backdrop behind us, you could see artwork. If you could see in front of us, you would see a great little cafe with, I'd say it's very eclectic looking with original wood. We'll have up front coffees with the muffins and bagels. They do some sandwiches. They have coffees, of course, all different sorts, and they make them fresh. I mean, they've got a gorgeous espresso machine up front. They go through a little entryway, and you're going to go into the Grimm and Gorly store. If you've not been to Grimm and Gorly, you have missed out. Not only have you missed out, the place has been in business for 100 years. Who can say that they've been in business for 100 years? They have got great decor, great gifts, and great items for you. Their florist is absolutely gorgeous. You can order flowers for anywhere, for any occasion. They have been doing it, like I said, 100 years, so they absolutely know what they are doing. And of course, we're gonna meet Jeff Bear here. He is the owner of Grimm and Gorly. His son Zach Bear is the owner here at 22. That's pour at 322 Coffee House. We'll be sitting down and meeting Jeff and hearing more. We're really excited because the mayor of Belleville is actually going to be sitting down, and she's going to be talking to us as well, telling us what's going on here in Belleville, all the great things that are happening. And I'm super excited because she is the first woman mayor of Belleville. And it's like, I don't know, what is it, 200 and some odd years? Because actually, Belleville is celebrating, or did celebrate in 2014, their 200th year. So here we are, 2022, and we finally have a woman mayor. Someday, hopefully, we'll have a president, too. I went a little bit ahead. I guess I'm so excited.
That's Patty's next move.
You know, once women start ruling the world, no offense, Gordon, that's when we'll be okay.
I think women already do rule the world in each individual house. Nobody just knows it yet.
We are multitasking fools. We are nurturing. We care. And I think we would make a huge difference if we were running this country because, well, I won't even get into where we are right now. But that was the mayor behind us, and she agrees. So since we are in this great place that definitely does a lot of business in flowers, why not discuss our question of the day a few weeks ago, which is, what is your favorite flower? And mine, I had mentioned, mine is actually a tulip. I just love when they bloom. I love that they can come in so many colors. I mean, I love roses, but tulips, maybe it's a reminder of spring, freshness. So I really like that a lot.
And the vibrant green stems. I mean, it's just the whole thing. It just looks so fresh. And like you said, spring is here.
And the leaf comes off of it. And you know, when you buy the fake tulips, and it doesn't come off, but I mean the shape of it, the way it comes off the stem.
Yeah,
it's
like
so
in
cool.
a cup almost.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. And we have some of our Facebookers who gave their favorite flower, which were carnations. Becky, of course, any bouquet, hand selected, but she loves orchids. Is it Pony, Peony? Is that a pony? Is that the name of the flower?
It is, but I don't remember what it was.
And then a rose. And then, of course, we have, let's see, gardenias. Now, I love the smell of gardenia because my grandmother, in Texas, gardenias were a huge flower that would bloom there. Plants were everywhere, so her backyard always smelled of gardenias, and that reminds me of her. And then we have an iris, and I'm so different. Flowers. I don't know what a bougain, and I'm sure I've just totally butchered this, but Bougainvillea, a bougainvillea, if I've even kind of said that right. I haven't heard of that flower before. Have you?
Me or pony?
I know.
It's
Peony.
Peony. Oh, we finally know
We're
how
both
to
wrong.
say it.
Thank goodness the mayor's here. And that's why she's mayor, ladies and gentlemen.
She knows. So we want to let you know that our podcast, In Your City, is brought to you by Chesterfield, Clayton, and St. Charles County City Lifestyle Magazines. Gorgeous publications from front to back. They're a luxury publication that's actually mailed directly to the homes and businesses, about 45,000. So that's a lot. Very local, completely local, with stories, with great stories, great advertisers, and really helps you navigate through your city. You can go to citylifestyle.com and find magazines all over the United States, as well as ours locally, and all the great stories that we share there as well. So Gordon Montgomery, right here to my right, he is he's producer. He's sidekick.
I'm everything right now.
And I'm
so
Kelly
far.
Lamb,
So if you see me
hyphenated
looking at things, and we have a lot of new gadgets, and a lot of new toys for the podcast, and it's just a lot of fun stuff. So I'm still getting used to it. So if you see any problems with the cast, we will have it fixed in the next show or two. Probably we'll have it
next
all
year,
worked out. Yeah,
whatever it might work out. We'll get it figured out.
That's all new stuff.
So did you know that Belleville was founded actually in 1814? So a little bit about Belleville. It's nice to know. We come to the city, right? We just mentioned that they had their 200.
What was the show? Was it 1818? So think about that. Put that in the time frame of 1814, 4 years earlier.
Actually, Indians and cowboys came in to get flowers.
For most pine boxes. Guy got shot in the street.
Exactly. So 1814, and actually, thanks to George Blair, his donation of 1 whole acre of land on March 10th, 1814, for a public square, the county seat of St. Clair County was moved from Cahokia to a more central located settlement, and then, of course, Belleville became its own. So Belleville is known for the stove capital of the world, and I know I asked that before, and I don't know if answer, so maybe the mayor can help us on why it became the stove capital of the world.
See, I didn't know that all the years that I've lived in Belleville.
Did they make stoves here?
No, but living in Belleville as long as I did, and
you should know that.
No, Stag Beer is all I know.
Of course.
Well, Stag Beer, the home of Stag Beer. And,
it is. It's the first brewery in Illinois was established in Belleville. And in 1868, Gustav Golitz, and it's a fly dive bombing you. We're going to have to kill him.
We'll get it.
Should I say that on there?
Peter's going to get you.
Exactly. All right. So he founded the candy company Belly. Who hasn't had a Jelly Belly in their belly?
Ronald Reagan.
He hasn't had a Jelly Belly?
No, he has.
That was his favorite, wasn't it? He always had to have Jelly Bellies everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, who knew that it was because of Belleville that he has that? All right, so there you go. There's a little information. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of other great things when we speak to the mayor. But do you know how much Americans spend? We need to own a Grimm and Gorly. Because you want to know how much people spend on flour a year.
You'd think I would know this.
And you could cheat if you wanted, because it's right here in my paperwork.
Only a few of us know that personal joke. You think I would know this by now?
What? Did I not get the joke again?
No. And I'm not telling that joke on the air. I could. Yeah, I could. But
no, you shouldn't.
So how many flowers were sold?
Did you know how much Americans spend on cut flowers and how much they purchase per year? And you probably cheated and looked at my sheet.
No, I didn't, but I'm going to say a year?
Cheating.
Per year? Per year?
Per year.
Per year. I'm going to say $500,000.
That's why I said we need to own a Grimm and Gorly florist shop. $6.2 billion on cut flowers and $4 billion on stems per year. Day, probably not. You got Mother's Day. You've got when they're in a fight and have to send them. You have Boss's Day. You've got all kinds of things. And I can help you know what kind of flower to be able to send as well. All
okay.
Right?
Yeah, tell me that.
So 250 million roses are produced annually for just Valentine's Day alone. That's a lot.
See, if I would have known that before you asked me the question, then
I can't be that nice to you.
Guess.
But guess what? Okay, this totally shocked me. The #1 best-selling cut flower in the U.S. is not a rose. I would have immediately thought it was a rose, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Roses are kind of the go-to what you send, right?
Is it your favorite?
It's a tulip. Why haven't you sent me tulips?
I did get you tulips one year.
It's crazy. It's so mad at us or something like that.
I did get you tulips for Easter one time.
You did?
Yeah. In fact, I think I got you roses.
Are you sure it was
I think I
me?
got you roses.
You sure it
I
wasn't
think
the other
I got
girl?
you, if I remember right, I got you red roses with white tulips in them.
You sure it was me?
I think so.
It could have been some. So you got to get your flowers straight.
Kevin
You can't
James.
accidentally.
Yeah. You sure I didn't bring it here, honey? Yeah. No.
All right. So in case you need a little advice, a little bit of help on roses and what you should be sending for what, I've got that information for you. So one rose is love at first sight. Okay. Or years later.
Did I give you a red one rose?
No, you did not.
Okay.
I don't know if it was first sight for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I changed my last
Did
name.
you give
after
me a
meeting
red
you.
rose for?
No, but I've given you plenty.
Right. Let's get back to the roses.
2 roses, mutual love and affection. So they may owe, so you may owe them 2 roses. 3 roses is a traditional 3-month anniversary gift. Also simply means I love you. I think probably for the most part that kind of says something. 6 roses, all right? If you are infatuated by somebody and you want to be theirs, you can give them 6 roses. Might creep them out a little bit if they're not infatuated with you, but you could try it. 7 roses expresses the feeling of infatuation again towards someone. 8 roses, we're getting ahead here. It signifies support, and it is ideal for someone who's going through a rough time. Giving them 8 roses means I support you, okay? 11 roses. We haven't gotten to the 12. We're just at 11 right now. It indicates that the recipient...
I'm this close to loving you? 11?
That the recipient is your treasured one, okay? Now, 12 roses is the traditional connotation of 1 dozen roses. It's love and appreciation. I'm surprised it doesn't say, like, I love you.
What is
Right?
13?
'Cause everybody
Is
sends
there a
12.
13?
There is a 13. To me, I can't imagine 13 of anything, though Casey was born on the 13th, so it is a good number. 13 roses presented in this number. It symbolizes secret admiration and eternal friendship.
Eternal 13 does?
Yeah. So if you get 13
I would have
roses,
thought it meant just like I love you one
you're
more
just
than 12.
friends, all right? 14 roses, tell someone that you're proud of the person. 15 roses, this is what all men need to know. There might be some women out there, but I doubt we do anything wrong. But men, if you need to say you're sorry, it's 15 roses. Don't settle for 12. You got to go ahead and step up your game and do 15 if you want to
Who's
apologize.
going to sit there and just count the roses to make sure, okay, what's going on here? I got 15, I got 14.
I will.
Okay.
I want to know what it means. All right. Okay. Now, if you really want to get crazy, all right, and you just, you've got all the money in the world to spend, you get on up there to 100 roses. I wonder if there's anyone that's received 100 roses from one person.
Julia
Not
Roberts.
because your room is filled with them. She did. And what was that movie called?
Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
How do you know it was 100? Wasn't it? But he really did invite him, though.
Yeah, at least 100.
Okay, means you're totally devoted to your loved one. It's also said that your love for a significant other will last for 100 years. It's a long time. If you get me 100 roses, it'll have to be in the afterlife.
Think we'll make 100? If we do, we're setting records.
We will look really good at 100 and however old we are, right? How old
Yeah.
will you be? How old will you be in 100 years, Gordon?
Well, let's try 161.
You never know. They could come out
I just
with a
told my
100.
age.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
You're not 161 yet.
No.
Okay. All right. So here we are.
I feel like I'm 161 today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So many ailments. And what's funny is you want to try to figure out what's wrong with you by the internet.
Google. Well, Google says this, so I must be good.
Yeah, but the problem is by the time you're done Googling your ailment, you probably have about 10 diseases that you're dying from. It's really not a good idea.
Scares you to death.
Yeah, so I told him, if you're still feeling like this tomorrow, you should call the doctor or go to the urgent care.
So what
Does he say? No.
I'm not going.
No. I'll just do the
So
internet.
what's the name of the milk I've been drinking?
It's the new
Next.
silk.
It's called Next.
Next. The
Next
new
milk.
plant-based milk.
Next milk, yeah.
Yeah. How's that
And
working
I
out
think
for
it's
you?
just packed with protein because it seems like since I've been drinking it, it's like,
Well, okay, so everyone, most people might have a glass or two of, maybe they have a little
That's true.
glass and they have a bowl of cereal or something like that. Gordon drinks an
go
entire
through a half a
carton.
gallon a
and,
day.
No, don't say, yeah. I
Half
thought
a
you were going to say
gallon.
half a carton. Entire carton.
That's a half
That is
gallon.
a lot of milk.
it is.
Or
But it's
plant-based.
Plant-based. So my
He's very
mentality
no-
is I'm
he's-
getting
he's-
healthy.
He's very noisy, by the way.
Yes. I will say that too. Next
A lot
milk,
of sounds
if you
come
drink
from
a lot
him.
of it,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, like when you get those fiber
Sleeping
bars.
in separate rooms now.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. So,
All right, so there you go. All right, so like we said, we're at Grimm and Gorly. They've been in business for 100 years. Next door, you can walk right through the entrance. Where we're at right now is Pour at 322. It's a coffee house. It's just absolutely fabulous. You could stay here all day and feel cozy and comfortable. I had to do a conference call. I did that here while we were waiting. I did some work, and never once did I feel like it was crowded or noisy. It's just comfortable. It smells delicious in here. But it not only smells delicious, they've got some kind of scent going on in here. Do you notice
I smell that too.
the
And when you
like
said
freshness,
it smells
oil
good
scent.
in here, that's when
yeah.
I noticed it.
Maybe
yeah.
it's the flowers coming through from the other side.
That's probably it.
I don't know, but it
I had to
smells
grab
really
me
good
some
in
to
here.
hide all the cords. But
You did.
I
It's a
grabbed
pretty
this
bouquet. You did a good
beautiful-
job. I like the whole white
Beautiful.
going on right there.
Yeah.
So we are here, of course, we're in your city, and that city is Belleville, Illinois. And we are going to now sit down and talk to somebody that's actually intelligent and can really, give some information to those that are listening and will be listening, as our podcast, of course, is loaded up to YouTube. It's on all your favorite podcast sites that you'll be able to listen to forever and ever and ever. So, every day, if you have nothing to do, you can just turn us on and go to show, right?
That's right.
Okay, so let's get it over right now to someone that we absolutely want to talk to. And then we're going to talk to Jeff Bear. I think I saw Zach come in, and we'll hopefully get to meet Zach as well with the coffee house and talk to him. Did you see his dog? Remember his dog?
No.
His dog, it was here last
Oh,
time.
last time, yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
that was loud. Oh my God, you got really excited.
I didn't know we were here last time.
We've been here
we were trying to hide
before.
that. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't mention anything
Is
that you didn't do the
Hold the dog
podcast
like-
correctly and we're here. That we have new equipment and he didn't hit the buttons
a
right.
remake.
Nobody mentioned that at all.
We did now. And you're always calling me out. I'm so
God.
used to it.
What else do I
used
have
to
to
get
do?
so butthurt over it. Yeah.
I guess you can say
We're
butt.
not
You can say
FCC.
whatever you want on
Yeah, on
podcasts.
podcasts.
In
We
fact,
can
you
say
can say
whatever we want.
butt on the radio now. In fact, I can't believe
Oh,
the
you can
things that
say
they
a lot
say
on the
now.
radio. Yeah,
It is
absolutely.
way different from the day when I started on there. So we are going to meet now. She's going to just come over here and not trip on any of the cords. I love how Jeff has the red velvet, like we're at the red carpet event that's separating
So did
us
this come
from
out? Did those come out of
other
any of the
people.
movie theaters in town?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
So, Mayor Patty Gregory, will you join us over here? We can't wait to talk to you. So, like I mentioned before, Mayor Patty Gregory is the first female mayor of the city of Belleville, Illinois, in 207 years. And she's a driving force for change and inclusion since she has stepped into the city hall. Just a little, you're like a fun size.
Well, thank you.
Just so cute and little. But I bet you are tall and mighty on how you're taking care of Belleville, Illinois right now.
Well, I hope so. That's always was the intention. As a retired school teacher, I do have a retirement that is very nice. But I ran because I always said I ran emotionally for Belleville. I didn't run financially.
And you know why? That's what makes you so wonderful. Like I was saying, if women ruled the world, we'd be set because we do things emotionally and passionately. We're totally wired different well, they're not even wired. They just have a box. Just one box up here. We have all kinds of wires doing things.
I can only do one box at a time. I don't know how you women do it. I don't know how you do.
We juggle a lot
Yes. With
until I get an
patience.
actual ball in my hand.
And then being a teacher, that just provides you with so much patience and nurturing, because that's really, I feel, what it takes to run a city. I mean, you're nurturing a lot of people and having to have patience for all the things that you're putting up with.
Yeah,
And trying to change.
Exactly. I've always been a volunteer in this community for probably 36 years. In fact, that's how I met Jeff. We've been volunteers together since we were in our 20s. Of course, I'm a little older than him. But anyway, it's been wonderful. The community of Belleville is just, there's something special about it. The people are very friendly. And what I really love is their commitment to their community and also to the non-for-profits and other organizations here. I mean, 20 years ago, I started Art on the Square.
Which is a great event.
Yes, at the time, and hadn't retired yet. But I knew people would say, "Oh, that's never going to happen in Belleville," and I'm like, "Are you serious? We're going to be number one within 5 years," and we were.
Wow.
And the reason why was because I knew the spirit of this community, and I knew that the volunteers. There's no place that volunteers like Belleville.
Really?
And
And why do you
so
think that
important.
is?
you know, because when they were settled there were a lot of political prisoners that settled from Germany here in Belleville, and also a lot of French. And they decided that they would build their own schools, their own churches. If you come downtown, you will see a lot of brick streets. They were all built by hand.
Wow.
By the settlers here, and everybody had to donate so many hours a month towards the building of the city. In fact, we do have a street here that's called Cow Street,
Cow Street?
and the story behind it is that when the early settlers were here, after they worked in the farms and other areas of the community, at night they would walk their cows down Cow Street, and they would make all their plans, and they would about what we're going to build next and how we're going to do it and how many people were going to be involved. So from the very, very beginning of our community back in 1814, when George Blair gave a 1 mile square 1 mile piece tract of land to the city of Belleville, which became the public square,
Right?
there has always been an effort to do massive volunteer work in this community. And even for many years, and I still do belong to a women's group here, kind of like the Junior Service Club of St. Clair County. It just makes me so happy because when I see, I'm older now, and when I see younger ladies coming from and working with junior service, and they bring their daughters with them to do volunteer service. Some of these kids are like in 3rd and 4th grade. But learning early, and that is how you get people to want to be in a community and work together.
And it's growing because you cannot grow as a community if you don't have the youth continually involved. As generations continue to turn, you kind of have that youth that's right there behind you, continuing on with what you guys are putting in place. And I've said that for many years. You've got to have the youth involved, else it just dies.
You are correct. And I will tell you, one of the really important things is down, and so much of it is being done by young people. We have gorgeous old mansions here in downtown Belleville. If you would go to St. Louis, they would cost millions of dollars. And then you have to put all the money into rehabbing. But as you said earlier, Kelly, at one time Belleville was the stove capital of the world.
Yeah, so tell us about that.
And I'd like to say that Belleville Shoe Company has been making boots called Bellevilles for the military since the Civil War. Still do. And so after the Civil War, we began a lot of manufacturing and, producing nails. I think part of it was at that time on a few cities that actually had railroad transportation. In fact, when the nuns from St. Elizabeth Hospital settled here, they settled here with their hospital because they had roads and transportation. So anyway, because of that, we became the stove capital of the world. And many of the older mansions that you see around here in our downtown area were actually built by people from the stove business that started all these wonderful manufacturing stoves in our city. The Labor and Industry Museum here has a lot of those original stoves from here. But it was really interesting. My brother lives in Colorado, Ed, I never talked to him about being the stove capital of the world at one time in Belleville. Ed, he was in Colorado on a trip with his sons and his wife at a stove museum, and he said almost
There's
at
a stove museum.
Colorado.
Okay.
He said, and almost every stove had Belleville on it.
Really?
And he called me from there and he said, why do I see Belleville all over these stoves here in Colorado? And I said, because at one time we were the stove capital of the world.
Incredible.
It was really incredible, and we still have Empire Stove.
It's great to know that.
And where are they located?
You know what? They are just a few blocks down by 17th Street.
Okay.
Yeah. And the family have been mainstays here in this community. And, and that's another thing. We have so many families that stayed here in Belleville for generations.
Yeah, the longevity.
Yeah,
and
the
the
longevity.
companies that you're talking about are still here today. So it's really important to know that.
And, the beauty of that is they have, they create wealth.
Yeah.
And because of that, many of these companies, when we have events like no other city on this side of the river, between the parades and the art shows and the chili cook-off and all of that. But they are willing to give donations that help those events and parades and everything continue. But it's because of the forethought of having generational wealth made a huge difference in the community as we were building the community.
So as the mayor, Patty Gregory, what do you see in the forecast? What's your future? What's your goals here to see happening in Belleville in the next year?
Well, we have had a very productive year. I came in 14 months ago.
Oh, gosh.
And, first mayor in 207 years.
You got to make it work.
Yeah, and there were a lot of shocked people out there.
There were.
Yeah, mostly of the other gender.
Imagine that.
But anyway, I have to say we have great employees here. And as I said, we have such dedication from the people of this community that my job has been a lot of fun.
Good.
And I always been the type of person that set goals of what all we are going to finish. Like at the first meeting with the Art on the Square team that was put together, they said, okay, Patty, what's our goal and objective? I said, we are going to be one of the smallest, most exclusive art shows out of 6,000 in the whole nation. And within 5 years, we will be number one. And that's exactly what happened.
Wow.
All volunteers. Because they were all dedicated. And they knew how to volunteer, and they knew how to put things together.
Sure.
And I'm using those same skills at City Hall. Of course, we had a big blow with the loss of Lindenwood when they decided to close this campus, which was doing very well, but concentrate on their campus in St. Charles. But there were a group of volunteers who had actually brought them here under Mark Kern as our mayor, who's now county board. And that whole group would not let that university go empty. And so it was really a citizen effort. It was not a political effort. It was an effort from the citizens of Belleville. And the original committee were still working behind the scenes, even though that was not being pushed politically.
Sure.
And because of that, the governor was here a couple of weeks ago, and he announced that Lindenwood is now the Forensic Science Training Institute for every forensic scientist in the state of Illinois.
Fantastic.
And
that's a pretty big deal.
it is.
It's a huge deal.
It's like CSI right
CSI
here in
right
Belleville.
here.
I
Belleville.
always wanted to have CSI Belleville. I always did because I wanted to go
You're
back.
right there.
Because I will have to say that some people think I'm a news nose. My family used to call me the Globe Democrat when I was growing up.
All the younger people are going, what's that?
What's the Globe Democrat? You're right. But so it's just been an honor to be involved in something like revitalizing a campus
Sure.
that has been here when 201 built over 100 and some years ago. Then to be able to refurbish it as Lindenwood And now the new name is the Southwestern Illinois Regional Justice and Workforce Development Campus.
Oh, fantastic.
And so it's,
We can thank Lindenwood for helping spruce it up some for us.
yeah, like to the tune of $45 million, and we bought it for $3.
Someone got a good deal there.
But I have to tell you, it's so exciting to see everything that is going on there. We are now a regional campus. We have SILEC that has come in that train about 1,800 Southwestern Illinois sheriffs. We now have the state police coming in conjunction with SIU Edwardsville for the Forensic Institute training for
My
the
college
whole
I graduated at, by the way.
yeah, the whole group of forensic scientists. We have SWIC coming in, and SWIC has a wonderful police academy. They're changing it from 200 to 400. And then 23 years ago, there was a gentleman here in town called Steve Lanter from the Lanter Corporation, a very old corporation. It is actually located in Madison, but the family lived in this area. And he has brought in a team, like a mentoring program for kids that are interested in sports and may not have a lot of direction in their home lives at home, interested in education. And he put together this wonderful program called the Jets, and they have taken over the campus gymnasium, and now our new campus with our new name is home to the Jets, and they bring tournaments in from all over the country. And then
Lots of campuses.
Yeah, and we will be making a large announcement because we have Carbondale Law School involved.
It's going to be a
with
very,
some-
very safe place to be.
yeah, with experimental programs, and that we hope will, within several years, will become a forensic law degree program, because we have the best forensic lab and the most up-to-date in the whole state of Illinois.
Wow.
So we're very excited, and from the news about Lindenwood, we have had new people come in to look at Belleville. We're getting ready for some new brick and mortar, new stores and new activity at Belleville Crossing. We have several other things that are coming in on the east and west end of Belleville in several projects right now. Some we have been working with for over a year. It's just not something that happens overnight.
Sure, absolutely.
But we've had a development breakfast. We have taken a whole new approach. And we want people to know that Belleville is open for business.
There you go. I like that note right there. And there is so much business. And with that, we are going to find out about this business as well from the owner, Jeff Bear, and his son, Zach, and talk about their stores, this coffee shop, and then even about Main Street, because it really is such a fun area to come into. There's so many great restaurants and boutiques, and there's just so much along this road. And I remember hearing that the Main Street is how many miles?
Well, I believe
Longest
it's
Main Street
over
ever.
10 miles.
Which is a long Main Street.
Well, especially for maintenance now in this day and age.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
I always have said, when the German settlers came, they did like their brew. And I
They still do, I believe.
Whoever was laying this out, they must have had too many. Because it's an extremely long Main
How many
Street.
miles have we done so far?
And I always
Who cares? Let's just keep going.
And I always say, to move a community, you can't just make decisions for one day.
Yeah.
You have to be forward thinking. And
Right.
how is this going to be 10 years down the road or 15 years down the road?
207 as we are right
Yes,
now.
207. And I was like, they obviously didn't know about infrastructure then. But
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway.
Oh, well, Mayor Patty Gregory, thank you so much for stopping in Grimm and Gorly and Pour at 322 to talk with us and let us know about all the great things with Belleville going on. And congratulations to you for being the first woman, as I called you president earlier, but mayor, president, same thing.
My
right?
husband says I think I'm the president.
Even at home, huh?
Yeah, even at home. But
I do most of the time too. I think it just comes with our territory.
but I think he thinks king, so he's over
there
the president.
you go. Thank you so much.
Well,
It's been such a
thank you.
pleasure. So glad you came in. Kathleen Kaiser sitting over there. I see her hiding over there in the corner. Hope she's going to come over and say hello as well.
Oh, that's great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank you,
again.
Mayor.
All right, we appreciate it. So, being that's a pretty cool title to have.
Yeah.
Mayor. I want to be the mayor. Hi, Kathleen. We want to say hello to
We'll
you.
say
And
hi
we
to
want
you.
Zach to come over, and we want Jeff to come over.
I'd love to come over and say hi, guys.
How's it going? So Kathleen was our sidekick when we were over there on the
Doing the
radio
she
station.
said, he said
Yeah, we just kind of switched over, and now we're in your city.
Yay.
So how great is that?
exciting. That is fantastic.
How do you love your job and working for a paycheck? It was like working for free with the radio. So you actually get paid for your hard work now.
My husband's very happy with our bank account now.
I noticed with
right?
all the meals he's cooking you.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm quite jealous at that. So when you go home tonight, will you have this beautiful meal laid out for you?
What are you saying? I don't cook?
No, she was not saying that.
don't.
No.
I haven't.
But when you do, you're really great at it. He
All right.
realized he knows how to cook.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, we'll probably have something for dinner. He loves to cook. He says it's therapy. Is it therapy for you, Gordon? He says
It
it's
is.
therapy.
Yeah, it is. Really, actually, it is. When you just kind of sit down and get all the ingredients out. That's what I love about HelloFresh. Plug for HelloFresh.
Yeah.
But they just get all the ingredients out. It's kind of fun to do.
Yeah. Now we have and prepared, and all we have to do is microwave it.
Nice.
That
Very
really-
nice.
that really
so
comes in
you can
easy.
get us TV trays for next Christmas.
Okay, I'll put that on the list. I really do miss
TV
us doing our
trays.
gift exchanges
I
every year on the
know.
radio, and yeah.
You give really good gifts. We still
Movies.
Italy.
Well, with
So-
COVID,
so-
yeah, we couldn't go.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
before we move to the next, okay. So what is the movie of the week? See, you used to give us
Oh,
the
yes,
movies.
I
Go ahead,
used to
let's
give you the
do
movie
it.
of the
Let's
week.
act like we're there.
Well, okay. So, Where the Crawdads Sing.
Yes.
You have to see Where the Crawdads Sing.
I
That's still
wanted to
my
read
favorite.
the book.
Oh, you
and
want
I
to read
didn't.
it first?
No, not anymore.
Oh,
It took
okay.
me actually 3 summers to finish the book I just finished. So I'm just going to go to the movies and see this one. So it's worth seeing on the big screen.
It's worth seeing on the big screen, but still my favorite movie this summer
Really?
is Top Gun.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
I'm
Top
so
Gun
glad that I
is
saw that on
one.
the big screen. Not it,
That's the
I don't
only way
care
you
how
can
big
see
your
it.
TV home, seeing it on the big screen is where it's at, and probably one of the best movies that I can say that I've been to see in many years before COVID, when we all weren't seeing movies at the theater.
Right.
It's fantastic. I know people have gone back to see it 2 and 3 times.
Absolutely.
It's a good one.
It's a really good one. And Where the Crawdads Are, the cinematography and the story is incredible. And I want everybody to know that I didn't know that you could make a beautiful movie, young love, and without any cuss words,
Really?
without that aren't so you're like, dear God, what are we doing here?
Oh, Gordon's out then.
First thing I look at: sex, nudity, smoking. That's
wanted
my
to say
favorite.
it.
My favorite new one.
Smoking, smoking,
Now
yeah.
they got to say that someone's going to be smoking.
As much as on TV, they put that on there. It's like if it doesn't say, I'm out.
Next.
Right. But that's when you have to go to the movie
what you have
theaters.
Disney
I have to
for.
go with my girlfriend for that. Ruin that.
I remember we used to laugh when that first started, when streaming,
Yeah.
was going.
Yeah.
And Gordon's like, "Did you see they're smoking?" Right? Oh my God. Yeah. Well, and we had talked about talking about streaming. Everyone had. I saw The Offer
Yes. Amazing.
on Paramount Plus. Yes.
Best binge watch series, because I get tired of watching a series and then I got to wait a year, 2, 3 years to be able to see it again, and there's no ending. This has an ending, of course. It really shocked me. I did not know what went into making The Godfather. Did not know even kind of what went into it. It's incredible
Quite
that
a lot went into it that nobody knows.
and then 3
Right.
of them, right? 3 of them ended up being made.
Yes.
And that the first one even came out to the big screen is incredible. So if you haven't watched The Offer, it's on, I believe, Netflix, right?
No, it's on Paramount Plus.
Paramount, yes, you're right. Paramount Plus.
Plus.
It is, and you can go through Prime, I think, to get it or whatever. Didn't you?
Yep.
Prime to get. It's fabulous, and the actors, like he likes to go on and check out the actors, and they picked people that look so much like the real person.
Oh yeah.
Like Francis Ford Coppola's, Dan
Mario
Fogler,
Puzo.
and
Oh my
Mark.
gosh,
Yeah.
it's just fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
really good. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes.
Oh, well, we miss you.
We
We,
miss you
love you.
too.
So
Gosh, I
glad that we're
miss you
here and
guys
got
too.
to see you.
I'm
And
so happy
twice.
you're in. Well, you're in the mayor's town. I
Yeah.
live here too.
We're in your
right?
country. We're in your country. Thanks
That's
so
right,
much.
that's
Appreciate
right.
it, Kathleen.
Thank you.
Kathleen Kaiser. And again, they can go to where to see all the movie updates?
MatineeChat.com.
Oh, we
you
haven't
go.
said that in a while. That was
No.
great. All right, let's bring over. Let's meet the man behind all of this. Jeff, come on over. Zach, pull up a chair next to him.
I'm gonna let him sit here right next to you, Kelly. I want to sit right behind you. How's that?
Well, we want to be able to hear you on the mic, so I need you to be close to that mic. So and grab another chair there, Zach. We got another one you could pull over. So with us right now is Jeff Bear, and he is the owner of Grimm and Gorly, and we want to make sure that people understand where you've come from. This is over 100 years ago that Grimm and Gorly began, and here you are today as the owner. Give us a little background about this, and then from there we can go into what you have. And Gordon's got some great photos he can show, and meet Zach, at the Coffeehouse, and what a great father-son team you've got going on here. And I wish your dog was here because he kind of stole the show last time. Just saying.
We do
He's
love-
much cooler than you two.
We do love Miss Ori. She's a great pup.
Oh
That's
my
for sure.
gosh, she's so
Zach's dog is
cute.
great.
How did this get started?
Years ago, I ran a silk floral business. I ran it. I was the manager of it, and I met the owner at that time of Grimm and Gorly, who was Paul Rice. So I had the opportunity to meet him all the time when he'd come in to purchase things for them to make here. They would buy silk flowers and bring them back to the store, and their designers would make them. And he said to me, he goes, I want to sell my store, and if you're ever interested, why don't you let me know? And so I said, I'm interested.
Wow.
So a couple of years for us to get everything situated because, as much as he wanted to retire, he didn't want to retire. And as
Sure.
much as I was ready, you just have to get everything together. And, so 23 years ago we did it, and it's been great ever
And
since.
here you are right now. And you're such a
Absolutely.
great location. You're right on the corner of East Main. Is that right? East
East
Main.
Main.
And is that St. Charles Street right
East
there?
Main and Charles,
Which
South Charles.
South Charles. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
It is an awesome location. I had a friend years ago, and she always said to me, location, location, location.
It's everything.
And buddy, let me tell you, it sure is.
And I
It's-
love your door that you come into when you come in.
Yeah, the
And
color's
then-
great, isn't it?
Great items in there. And then the
Thanks.
florist way in the back. And you have this room that we went back into, and it's kind of like the city room, and it's all your favorite things that are back there. They're not for sale.
Right,
You just
they're
get to
not.
sit amongst them.
Yeah, we call it the gallery. So it's art that my son collected, and just the different pieces. And it's a great room just to sit in the morning and just really enjoy some morning sunlight and have a coffee and kind of prepare for your day. Sometimes you don't get to prepare; you just have to jump right in. But it's great. Zach joined literally when he was 9 years old. I took him to a wedding at the Botanical Gardens, and I said, "Now you sit right here and hold on to this chuppah, and I'll be back to get you, and don't tell your mother I left you." So he's been doing this since he was 9 years old. So it's pretty great.
Started you
Yeah,
young.
it was baptism by fire, I think. And so then I think he's been with us now as a business partner now for 12 years. 12 years.
Incredible.
So, he's spent over half his life here.
I like this picture.
That's a great picture. So that's the two of us doing a seminar for Art on the Square, actually. So that was a lot of fun. And of course, I was talking, as I do a lot, and Zach was designing, as he does incredibly well. And so it's a lot of fun. It's great to be able to work with him. I always say to people, I'd rather fight with him for 5 days than anybody else for 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not that it's a fight. It's that it's,
we fight all the time.
No,
Yeah,
I
you have
understand. I'm
opinion.
married.
Yeah, right.
We fight all
That's
the
right.
time.
I'd rather fight every
Who
day
wins,
with him.
Gordon? Who wins?
Well, I think you know the answer to that question.
Except, I don't know how it works, with the father-son, but he'll say he's sorry, and I'm like, I'm not ready yet. He goes, I'm sorry, it's supposed to be over. Nope, not ready yet.
We
Yeah.
don't say sorry.
You just keep
It
moving.
could be hours or sometimes days later, and then we'll just randomly say something, or
Say
he'll
something.
text me and be like, "Do you want lunch?
Do you want lunch?"
That's
That's
you
the
either
key.
respond or you don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you're ready.
No, I'm
You
gonna
need to be
respond.
ready.
I'm usually gonna want lunch.
Well, he's going to buy. That's the difference. He must buy whoever if he has then.
Right.
I think that's
I think it's fair
fantastic.
to say it's always my fault.
oh no, yeah, it's typically me.
It's typically you.
It's typically me.
So now you not only have the coffee house within here, you're actually helping and partnering within Grimm and Gorly with the florals and everything that's being done. You work together on everything.
Yeah, we literally work together on everything. So while it's safe to say that this is quote unquote mine. There's nothing that's really mine. So
Kind of
here's
like his world.
Well, yeah, right. It's. I mean, years ago he had said, he wanted a coffee shop, a cafe. He wanted to incorporate that in, and so. At some point, you just look and say, well, why not? And if not, when? Or if not now, then when would you do it? So we just did it. I mean, we had the space. It made sense. And again, it's always baptism by fire for us. So it was a very big learning experience. But Caldi's was incredible to partner with. That was an amazing.
Great coffee.
It was, yeah, it's fantastic coffee. We're actually pulling in some new coffees as well, commitment coffee, which we haven't fully committed to, pardon the pun. But we're excited because the blends are just absolutely extraordinary.
What makes you go out and pick or decide coffee? What is it you're looking for?
Flavor notes. That's imperative. So any coffee can really taste okay when served with food, right?
Sure.
So because that helps pull a lot of flavor notes out. Your taste buds have already opened up. It does bring those things out a little bit.
Dipping a donut into it.
Very much so, right? Because
You know what the coffee tastes like then.
Yeah, exactly. But when you're talking about coffee itself, absolutely, if you can't have it by itself without having cream or without having those flavor notes, it's really bland and nobody wants it. So that's the thing that we seek out the most is, are there hints of caramel in it? And I know a lot of people feel the same way about coffee as they do wine. They're like, you can't.
I was just going to say that.
You can.
It's like being a wine connoisseur.
But you really can. And the thing is having the actual physical roaster walk you through it, teach you, explain to you. It is very important to pay attention to those things, and our baristas will call it out immediately. It'll start brewing, and they'll say, "Oh, that has a lot of chocolate undertone." Like our nitro, I'm not a chocolate fan. I don't like the taste of it. I don't like the smell.
He's cut his button off. He's no longer allowed to talk. No one can ever say out loud that they don't like chocolate.
Right?
Yeah,
I
what's wrong
live.
with
That is my life.
We serve incredible.
You hurt me,
chocolates here
actually.
I'm so sorry. You're gonna have to cover that wound for the remainder. But really, like our nitro that we serve here has the most incredible chocolate undertone. It's velvety, and it is the most beautiful fullness when it's taken out of the pour.
Do you
it's
want
incredible.
coffee now? Have you
I
ever
do.
heard anybody
The way he
describe
describes
coffee
it,
like
it's
him?
like, okay.
It's beautiful. It's velvety. It's like, I'm sold.
But that's the thing, our baristas care. So if they don't like the way something tastes, they are always to be as blunt as possible with us. It's imperative. They're the ones that are up here when we can't be up here. So if they're uncomfortable, they don't like the way something's being served, if they don't like the way they're doing it on a regular basis, we work together to change it. It has to be changed. We need to give someone an experience. You can't just serve a coffee and say it's okay. You need to give them an experience, and we have the people here, and we have them really great. I had a
definitely
barista
experience.
just beg me. He said, "Can I please take our chocolates and pour the espresso over them for independent espresso shots, and then we do flavor notes for each week?" I said, "Do it. Why are you asking? Just go, rock it. Put it on."
How come you didn't tell us about this when we got here?
Yeah, you just
Why-
pushed
That's your
yours. You
average
just pushed
go. It's a little
yours.
He pushed his drink on us, which is tell us what that is.
Cortado. Isn't
I
that great?
am really old. I have never in my life, and we even went to Italy for our honeymoon, and no one's ever mentioned a cortado to me before. And it's not a tostado, it has nothing to do with Mexican Tostitos. It is a coffee drink, and it is delicious. It's delicious. So
It is
tell us.
delicious. It's a great pulled shot of espresso, and then it barely has even a shot of just whatever your favorite cream is over the top of it. So I choose almond milk. 'Cause I do not do dairy any longer, but I like almond milk or oat milk. I think it's wonderful, and it's just creamy, and it is so good.
But
It's
you
my
have to
favorite
have
thing in
good
the morning.
coffee because
Right.
you really taste and drink the coffee. When I say drink, I mean you really taste the coffee, but it's
You
so
do.
smooth. There's no bite to it. It's really smooth, and then you feel that espresso, and it goes.
Absolutely.
So of course we had to have one the minute that we got here. I'm like, what is that drink I want again? It's your favorite. It's one you have every day. But everybody needs to try a cortado, but I hope you have it here at Port 322, because if you have it somewhere that doesn't know what they're doing or does not have good, velvety, delicious, beautiful coffee, you're not going to really get to experience that,
very
right?
true, very true.
I love all the art in the wall. So you have different artists that come in and display their art.
Wait, Kathleen, do not eat that.
What is she eating?
She's got to show us that first.
Oh my gosh, that's so unfair.
I was like, what has she got?
It just happened our life.
We can look at the artwork in a minute, but this is artwork in itself.
See, these are the things we live for. Is it on the? Wow, that's a cannoli.
Actually,
Yes.
it's a cream horn.
Sorry, wrong name. Cream horn. cream horn. Who came up with it? It doesn't look like a horn.
Okay, you can take it and eat it now, Kathleen.
Now
We
you can
just had to
have it.
show everybody.
It is absolutely wonderful.
Now that we've all touched it and breathed on it.
So I'll take a bite and then give it back to
Talk
her.
about flavor notes. Yeah.
Yes. Well, it's like my grandson. We had his birthday the other day, and cake. It's one of those that are like firecrackers. So
So
he's
you
like,
open
"Ooh,
up and
ooh." I mean, he was
music
like,
comes out, quite annoying.
Oh yeah.
the cake almost melted from so much spit all over it. I'm like, "Who wants a piece?" And everybody's, "No, nobody."
Don't you love that when they give people the candles that don't blow out
So they
on a
keep-
cake, so they keep blowing on it and continue to blow on it, and you almost need a second cake.
Oh my! Just give people their own
And
little
then Casey
cupcake to
goes,
blow
"Here's
on.
yours," and I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna get the inside of this ice cream cake."
So back to the gorgeous, velvety, delicious artwork that goes along with the coffee that's along the wall. So you have artists that come in and do that as
We've been really lucky that a lot of artists have always come to us, and they'll meet Dad
Wanna
out on the
showcase.
farmers market every Saturday, which is a really great opportunity for us. And they'll just like, do you have room in the schedule? And sometimes artists only want to feature 2 weeks out of a month, which is convenient because they
Yeah.
might have a show or they might have a showing somewhere, and that's absolutely fine. We can't hold someone to 30 days. If you have an opportunity to sell what's in here, sell it.
Yeah,
Absolutely sell
yeah.
it. But I mean, it really does us a major service by having this incredible work because every artist has been different. We have not, we've repeated one artist a couple of times because she has been a house
That
favorite
good.
for. Actually, yes, she's been a house favorite for a couple years.
Oh, that's
She sells a
fantastic.
lot of her work in the South. She does really, really, really well in New Orleans, and she's done really, really well here. But this is a young gentleman that actually is from Belleville, and he and his family now live in Belleville, and so
Oh, that's nice.
it's nice to pull the community in and let
Sure.
and you meet
That's
new
what it's all
people.
about is
It
community.
is, and Belleville's big on community.
Yeah.
It really is.
It
So,
means everything.
oh, very much.
And that's what we're all about within your city show. Is it's about community. It's about going in and giving someone an experience that may not know exists. I mean, here you are, 100 years, and I learned about you. Just don't, we get so used to what we do, we don't realize there's so much in our own communities, our own cities that we've never experienced or know about. And you have an experience here when you come through the door of Grimm and Gorly. Tell us what do you want people to be able to experience and see when they come through your door, Jeff, Zach, with Grimm and Gorly, and then of course your fabulous coffee house here where they can relax and enjoy life.
We really want people to feel like they're at home. We want them to make themselves at home and feel like they're at home. And we want to help you make your home, your
I was just going
house
to
at
say,
home.
besides taking things home with them, I mean purchasing things to take home. That pillow out there that I'm going to steal and put in my car.
It's fun sometimes just to see people come in. It could just be one person that randomly walks in and has coffee and then works their way over to the flower shop, or somebody who orders flowers and then comes over here to get a coffee. It's just wonderful to see that mesh of people and the mesh of the two different stores and what we have to offer. And truly, it is about getting people to enjoy. I know that vibe will not fit. And getting folks to enjoy, the idea of having a coffee, and they're always worried about, can we have a coffee in the flower shop? I'm like, absolutely.
We're going to be like Biden. Remember was it the debate or the show? No, it was Pence. Remember
Pence.
the
The
fly?
fly.
It just sat on his head for like 15 minutes. And it's like, is someone going to tell him in his earpiece that he needs to swat that away? And we're over here just fanning it away, and he's like, just got it stuck on his head.
For some reason, it likes that eyebrow. I don't know why, but anyway. I love the idea that, and people walk in and they're just like, well, can I have a wreath made the way I can? We have things for you to look at and things that you can absolutely purchase. But if you have an idea and we can take your idea and run with it, it's all the better.
Sure.
It makes our job even more interesting and more fun. So,
What are your hours at Grimm and Gorly and over here at Port at 322?
We are Monday through Saturday, 7 to 4 in the coffee shop, 8 to 4 in the flower shop. And on Sundays, we are 8 to noon in the coffee shop. So the flower shop's not open on Sundays. But however, it's absolutely, it's great every day, all day, just wonderful.
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And if someone needs us after 4 o'clock for, a specific reason or a specific appointment, we're always willing to do that,
With like 6 billion flowers being sold a year, I would like to be your partner.
We wish we were selling 6 billion.
We're in the
flowers, yeah.
wrong business when I found out how many flowers are sold per year. Isn't it amazing that all the years that people still love getting flowers? I have to admit, I miss being in, well, take this a minute. I don't miss working in the corporate world. I miss being at work where other people can see you get flowers as a gift.
Right.
Everybody wants to get that bouquet sent when they're around other people to see it.
they do.
Of course.
But now we just take a picture and post it on Facebook to make people jealous.
Absolutely.
See what I got and you didn't?
Yeah.
Is what it is.
And honestly, that almost hurts more, I think. I really do. It hurts more. It's
Posting it on the
absolutely-
social
oh,
media.
absolutely.
They're like, I didn't get any of these flowers. But if you get 15 roses, then you're like, oh, well, he did something wrong or she did something wrong. So that's why they got 15. So ooh on you, right?
You know, so not only are we florists, but we're Hallmark card bearers, kind of. You know what I mean?
Get to do the
or
cards
greeting
and
card
that
bearers
with
is
it.
what I
Yeah,
should say. Yeah.
they call you and they explain the situation. They're like, but you get it right. I'm like, actually, I don't
You
get
get it
I
right.
don't.
So you're a
but
psychologist
we're
as
gonna
well.
take- Oh, yeah. But we're going to take the 4 concepts you gave me and pull it into 5 or 6 words.
5 or 6
not-
Five or
words.
six
Five or
words
six
that'll fit on a card that
So
big,
what is
right?
the craziest card you ever got?
Yeah.
I love you. I don't know.
The craziest card.
Or the craziest reason someone ordered flowers,
probably-
maybe, if that.
The one was real explicit. And honestly,
like
we
on
It
the-
came
you had to
online,
put
so they
the-
printed the whole thing online. So
things
Do you have to put a
actually-
disclaimer
Yeah,
on there
that's the
saying
word
this
I
is
was
not us, this is the person
we
who bought you
received
the flowers?
orders on one of our online systems.
he started texting me, and I was already texting him, and I said, I'm already on my way. We have to call him. Like I
can't
knew
write.
where it was going.
It's going to her work.
and it was gonna be 6 people before it was her, but it was just a lot of what I'm gonna do to you when you get home, and I kept thinking, you know what?
You guys closed the shop early after
I
that.
admire it, and we're here for it. But I'm gonna tell you that we're gonna put that in an envelope that's been like seal taped and stamped.
Stapled.
Yeah.
And then the worst of the whole thing is that right before it's ready to leave, he's like, "She's not there today. I just found she's not at work."
Oh yeah.
So we had to send you home or switch the day. I can't remember what
No,
we
we
ended up-
sent it to the home
Oh, yeah.
instead. And he's
Yeah,
like,
so-
"Take for the
Yeah,
long
it definitely
long
worked
run,
out
definitely
better.
It's a
worked
good
out."
thing he didn't go to work and one of the ladies thought
No,
that
he-
was hers
you know what?
and
I'm gonna
goes,
be honest with you, he made it real clear. He goes, I could care less. And I
Really?
thought, you know
He
what,
was
man,
gonna do that to
I
her.
respect that.
Didn't care who knew.
He said she would be proud, and I thought
She would be proud.
Okay, that works for
What we
me.
really wanted was
And
just-
everyone in the office would be jealous, right?
I would tell you I blushed reading it. And I don't blush.
I'm
very
blushing
easily.
right now just thinking
Oh,
about it.
I'm
Thinking,
telling you.
I mean, I wouldn't have the nerve to, it takes a certain personality to let the world know.
Zach only lives a block away, and he was on. And that order came
Oh,
in
so you
early, and
see
he was
him
on his
often.
way. Yeah, he was on his way.
Every time you see him, you're like,
"So
I
he's your
wonder.
neighbor."
Yeah, you're like, I wonder if he did that.
You're like hanging out at the house that
Yeah,
night
like,
going,
don't make
seeing if anything's going on.
You're just like, I wasn't thinking about a thing, so it's fine.
So, what are the flowers that you mostly? What are most that are ordered from you all? Do you have like a certain flower that is
Specific
like
types?
really popular?
You know what? I'm going to say no to that, only because our customers kind of know, like, we try to push designer's choice as much as possible.
Sure.
And we have some people who are against that. They're like, but I want to know it's exactly this, this, and this, and we respect it. But we get in different flowers every single day. And the worst thing you could do is 3 of your best friends getting the exact same arrangement that you just got on
I don't want to wear the
Tuesday.
same outfit as someone else, so don't
exactly
go ahead
it.
and copy my flowers.
That's key. So, we try to make sure that people understand it's imperative.
Yeah.
Let us do what we do with your budget in the best way we can do it with the best product that we got in today, and it's not going to be seen twice this week. And they're like, you know what, I love it, do it.
That is so great. So we're here. This is Jeff Bear, Zach Bear. They are the owners of Grimm and Gorly. 100 years of service. The new Coffeehouse, which is how many years now? Not exactly new, but newer to Grimm and Gorly.
Going to be 8.
You're going to be 8.
8 years. They've got this gorgeous Port 322 coffee house, correct?
Yes,
I make sure I'm saying that the whole time the right way, which makes it difficult on social media because it wants to add all kinds of things when I put that ad sign. But you have to experience this for yourself. Come shopping, come in here and have yourself. They have food that they offer. They also have lots of desserts and treats and beautiful truffles. And apparently you can do espresso over a truffle that we missed out on, but we'll find out more about that when we get off. And then we have the cream horn that Kathleen comes over and teased us with. So there's so much here to offer. Were you showing pictures in that our new producer over here, Gordon Montgomery, the In Your City producer now, is flipping things. Oh, there, look at that. Yeah, I love that. So lots of great things to see here. It smells great. It tastes great. It's velvety and it's delicious. And they're here to design florists. And you send all over. You don't need to be nearby and in Belleville if you need to get flowers sent. Grimm and Gorly can take care of you anywhere. Absolutely. Is that correct? All right. Well, thank you so much for having us, the test run that we had earlier, and for having us back again. We've thoroughly enjoyed ourselves, and I'm so glad to get to know you all. Thank you for being in Clayton City Lifestyle, too.
We love it.
I'm
We're
hoping that
excited.
everybody in that city knows about you and will come out and visit, too. So thank you so much. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you guys so
all. We
much.
appreciate
Truly.
it.
All right.
And thanks
Well,
for
here
last
you-
week's dress rehearsal.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
That was also a pleasure.
That was awesome.
I wasn't going to tell anyone that Gordon messed up with his new equipment, but you know,
Well, we had some delay issues with audio, so
yeah. So
But
you
all
know
were
what? This
great
was
about
fun.
redoing it. I
This,
think
this meant we got
Gave
you
us an
twice,
excuse
so
to
it
get
was
to
great.
come back to Belleville.
and we would have never found out about the guy who sent the flowers to us. Why?
No, no. And we'd like to know. Actually, when you all aren't going to get to hear, but I'm going to ask him what the guy did to her. Or said he was going to do. That will make my day. I want to know if it's something I've never heard before.
We're only going to tell Gordon.
All right. Well, here you go. In Your City show here in Belleville, Illinois. We enjoyed speaking to the mayor. We enjoyed speaking to Jeff and Zach. We look forward to coming back more and more. And I'm going to go shopping now over at Grimm and Gorly. I had my coffee.
You'll have to have a second.
All right. Well, August will be coming up. We'll have a new location and a new podcast each month coming to you, and we'll see if we start expanding from there. Right now, we're the 1 month and done, but we'll see from there. So, peace.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so
Well
much.
done.
Just had such a great.
Oh, gosh.
If you ever plan to motor west, travel my way, that's the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route